Yeah. What's happening, Mavericks? Let's go.
Let's do this. Mike and Sophia here. We are talking about setting up your marketing foundation, a solid foundation, right, babe?
Come on. You want a Maverick machine. You want it pumping. You don't want to just keep guessing and trying and throwing stuff out there and like, oh, I've heard it multiple times and it keeps coming back.
Yep.
Let's set up the solid foundation.
Absolutely. Because one thing we hear is like, oh, well, I just need to get some ads rolling, or whether it's Facebook ads or Google ads, or they think that that's marketing, that's digital marketing. But here's the thing, digital marketing, when you say that, you've got to be having systems for all the things, which are your cold leads, warm leads. You got to be pumping out the content for social, podcasts, those type of things, and be doing ads. So do you have all of those things set up? And a lot of times for nurturing, reaching out to the cold and warm leads, that can be in-person type stuff. That can be phone calls, that can be seminars, that can be webinars. So don't just think, oh, I'm just doing digital. Certain industries, you're gonna want the in-person stuff as well, especially when you're just starting out.
Yes.
So don't just, don't fall for that lie like, oh, I'm doing some SEO or some ads and I'm good.
That's great. That is a great thing. And think about the foundation. So every house, building, structure, you got to have a solid foundation.
Heck yeah.
And here's the thing. If you want to scale, right? If you want to grow a company, you're going to scale to so that you one day will go, okay, I'm going to exit this. I'm going to sell it. I'm going to be like set for life kind of thing. That whole vision, right? You have a vision. You want to complete it. If you set yourself with that foundation and you build it very small, think about how if it starts to go vertical, next thing you know, it's going to teeter, weather's going to hit, you might be shaken up. The best thing to do is set up that large, solid foundation.
Yeah. Actually, I don't even think that you can teeter. I think that if you have that small foundation where you're just like, oh, I'm doing ads. I don't do any content. I just do ads, or I just do this one. I just do flyers, or whatever it is. If your foundation is small and shallow, you're not even going to be able to build high. It's going to be like, oh, stop. City ordinances. You can't build any. It's just you're going to stop. But if you're doing all those things, so like with reaching out to cold leads, it could be cold calling. It could be door knocking. It could be going to an in-person networking group. It could be your front end, the top of your funnel. So there's multiple things that you can do for reaching out to cold leads. And we would recommend doing both, doing the in-person and doing ads, especially when you're starting out. That in-person, really working, not working, but really nurturing your contacts that you do have right now. That's going to be, when you're starting out, reaching out to your contacts that are in your circle right now, that's going to be your quickest way to get leads. I'm just going to be honest. Anyone that tells you like, oh, no, that's going to be the fastest path to cash when you're first starting out. Then as you want to grow and you grow, then it's like, okay, then it's ads, like pump it when you've got that budget for ads.
That's right.
Pump it into ads. But if you can do all those things, the cold lead, warm content ads.
Yes.
Man.
You nailed it, love. And when you speak out, you made me reset, because it is true. There's points and you caught yourself in saying working, but at the same time, it is true. You want to be thinking about that cold lead as someone you want to nurture, but it's not about like, oh, let me feed and give them all they need, because sometimes that's overwhelm. Sometimes it can just suck out energy by giving them too much. You want to give them those tidbits, let them chew on it and go, yes, this is good. Put it to use, see the results, want more.
Yeah, that's a great point, babe. Especially, for cold leads. Because if you're just like, here's everything you need if we did that, like on all of our cold leads, like, this is all the things you need to be doing, and you might even already feel like that when we're saying like cold leads, warm leads, content, ads. But a lot of times, most of our stuff, the front facing to the cold leads, we're just talking about social media. It's about getting started, using what's in your hand, your phone, starting to post, starting to like. It's the same with working out. Like, okay, if you can just start, a trainer wants to get you in shape. They're like, okay, if you can just start committing to going on a walk for half an hour, 5 days a week, like start with that. Then as that becomes a habit, build on that. And you're absolutely right. So don't overwhelm the cold leads, but you want to inspire them also. You want to inspire them to what's possible, but get them started somewhere where they're at.
That's so good. And never neglect the power of your story. Like, where have you gone to get to where you're at today? What did it take? Some of the why. Because
Yeah,
if there is no
absolutely.
why, there's no comply. It's always this factor of, well, I'm going to invest in you, or I'm going to look to you. I'm going to get your advice. I'm going to have you speak to consult my company, whatever it is. They're looking to you at first to see, can they trust you? Can they feel, do they know you, right? Do they know, like, and trust, the whole deal of build up. But if you can tell the story that connects those things and clears the gap for them, and they say, oh, whoa, now I get it.
Yeah.
Now I know what you're saying. Now I want a part of that. I want you in. I'm going to pull you in, right? That's the way to go. Even to the point of getting, and that's cool. We just talked about this yesterday with a client. There's a point of them saying, I wanted to be like so getting all my clients in and sign them up and contract them. But then at the end of the day, there was times where they said, just recently, high level client, wanting to pay them, pulling them in, and then they saying, ooh, wait a minute, not a good fit, not a good fit. So that's another identity thing, knowing who makes good sense and who doesn't.
Yeah.
I would draw that line, make it so clear, and go after the ones that do.
Yeah, and that's why the part of the content, like that portion of you having your marketing machine and that foundation for your marketing, the pumping out content is so important because it kind of plants those seeds of when you're talking, it makes it clear on what you're valuing, how your processes are, how you work. And that kind of, we use that as kind of a weeding out. Like, we make it very clear on our beliefs. We make it very clear where we stand on certain things. We make it clear on what type of people, like, we want action takers.
Right.
We do not want people who are going to sit there and have analysis paralysis, because it doesn't work. It looks, they don't succeed, and then if they don't succeed, it doesn't look good for us. And so it's like, we want action takers, people who are going to take action, who aren't going to be like, I have to know exactly everything before I step out. It's like, you don't know until you test it. Like, let's test it. Let's see if this is something that your community wants. And then if it is, let's learn, let's get you going. Let's get you figuring out how to do a seminar or a webinar, even if you've never done one before. But action takers are willing to be like, hey, I've never done a webinar, I've never done an in-person seminar, but I'm going to learn it. I'm going to work on my scripts. I'm going to work on these things, and I'm going to get it done.
Yes.
And so I would say content is so important, because it kind of weeds out those who aren't a fit. And as you're talking about it, then it's easier to kind of have your ideal client self-identify with you.
For sure.
And using your story, but story is important, and content.
Come on.
I'm like, content is king. We just got done filming all of our videos for social, and that was what we were talking about. Content is king. Like, man, the days of just being able to dump a ton of money in ads and that's all you had to do was ads, those days are over. It's like, man, it's time to be busting out the content. Look at all the industry leaders right now in pretty much any industry. The ones that are in not dying industries, but up and coming industries, and the leaders, what are they doing? What's like a common thing for all of them? They are pumping out massive amounts of content, massive amounts.
That's right. And the two factors that keep popping up, that as Google continues to try to stay ahead of the wave and everybody else is trying to catch up with AI and all that, think about this. If you are going to stand out above the crowd, we talked about this, you're going to stay in a gray area if you're just copying everybody. If you're doing all the things they're doing at AI, you're using chatbot, you're using texting, like the whole messaging thing, you're using article building. Careful with that, because if you don't do it and personalize and say, hey, this is our experience, this is what we know, our drop of wisdom, personal, right? Something personal.
You can't have ChatGPT take over and run your company for you. I mean, there's definitely great things for it, but man, getting your face out there. Like, I love Grant Cardone, the 10X. I've probably listened to that freaking book like 6 times. And it's so good because it talks about taking massive action and then moving from a place of obscurity to being known by as many people as you can. And ChatGPT can't do that. I mean, they can write blogs for you, but getting your face out there, getting your brand out there, is you've got to have a face to your brand. And so filming that content, taking massive action on doing that, getting it across as many platforms as you can, That would be my biggest, like, if you're going to start somewhere with these 4 pillars, like start there.
Yeah.
And don't worry about the numbers of followers or the number of likes. Worry about the numbers to focus on are, okay, how many videos did I film? I need to film this many videos, short, like reel type videos or shorts on this week. I need to do this many podcasts a month and batch it.
Oh yeah.
And I need to do this many calls, this many outreaches. Those are if you want to win in business, those are the numbers to focus on. And it might be that you get not a lot of likes and follows, that you get a lot of no's when you reach out and do the calls. Don't worry about that. Keep going, because as you keep going, you're gonna get more likes, you're gonna get more follows, you're gonna get more yeses. But don't focus on those numbers. Focus on, hey, did I get those videos done? Did I get that podcast written? Did I get those calls done? Did I get those mailers done? Those are the numbers to focus on if you want to win. I'm so passionate about it.
It's good. No, it's good, because then you put these and prioritize. That's what strategy is for. You prioritize that most profit multiplying actions.
Yep.
What does that look like? And you can simply go, wow, you know what? If I do this is going to bring in more money than that. So boom, that drops down to the lower bracket.
Yep.
And you put your energy in the places that do.
Yep.
Boom, you're going to change the game. You're going to shift your company to where you want it to be. And then you have the ability to grow and scale.
Yeah, absolutely. So. And it's, if you're just starting out, the best place to start out is literally with your phone. Yeah. Meaning calling, reaching out to your warm contacts, and posting on social media with your phone. So you're just starting out, fastest path to cash that we've seen, your phone. Yes. Calling, posting.
And we just really quick too, we have an organic method, simple cheat sheet we can drop on you. Just DM us, message, follow up, we'll get it to you.
Yeah, follow us on it. So this is a podcast, so go over to Instagram, Activate Mavericks. Message us there and say, hey, I want your cheat sheet, and we will get that to you. But blessings, you guys. Yes. Remember, today is the day to take action, not tomorrow, today. And if you take action today, you're consistent in it, your life will change.
Let's go.